BDPA created exposure for countless African American people in tech, opening doors often before others recognized what was possible.
The three words that I would use to describe BDPA is family,
wonderful,
knowledge.
Absolutely 10 incredible students that have learned to control a robot arm that will prepare them for future jobs in robotics.
three words, labor of love, fun,
enduring,
family from a family.
AI has the power to automate. But if it's using untrusted data, can you trust the results? Your business doesn't just need AI, it needs the right AI for your business. Introducing Watson X, a platform designed to multiply output by tailoring AI to your needs. When you Watson X your business, you can train, tune, and deploy AI, all with your trusted data. Let's create the right AI for your business with Watson X. IBM, let's create.
Hey everybody, my name is Kanika Tolver and I am a Senior AI Product Manager at Career Rehab. And today we have Mr. Lou Shack. He is the Sites Director at BDPA. And we're going to have an amazing conversation today about how he got involved in this organization and a little bit about his career and some of the other things he's been doing with this amazing initiative. How you doing today?
I'm just fine. I'm just fine. And I thank you very much for having me here to speak about this.
Awesome. Did you want to introduce yourself a little bit more so the audience can get to know you a little bit more?
Well, I am a member of the DC chapter of BDPA, and I actually joined BDPA in 2004. And I've been with them ever since. And to tell you, I never heard of BDPA before 2004. So I was teaching animation to a group of youngsters, and we had some members of the BDPA to come to that location and want to train there. So they were training, I was teaching from 7 till 12, and then the room was available in the afternoon, starting at 12, and it was just a little bit funny, is that when you're starting that late in the day, it's, you know, people are doing things and so forth, and so they asked me if I would be willing to join them and to bring my students in the program with them. So I thought, why not? So we joined together, that is, the two groups. So we would start training at 7 in the morning, and we would train from 7 to 3 with programming. So I dropped off the animation program, and I joined in with them, and I started teaching HTML, and then eventually I started teaching HTML and CSS, and then I moved into JavaScript. But I've been with the program ever since.
That's amazing. You know, HTML and JavaScript was one of my favorite set of programming languages when I was in college pursuing my computer technology degree at Bowie State University. I wanted to know a little bit more about your first computer. You know, I think we've all lived through different eras within technology, and we all can remember when we first touched and put our hands on a computer. And I know you said you did a lot of HTML and CSS and JavaScript programming. Walk me through, what was your experience with your first computer?
Well, let me just tell you, my first computer was an Atari from Radio Shack, and that was the first one. And I had the computer and the printer, and we just simply basically used it for word processing. The printer was a kind of a funny printer where the G's printed above the line, and so many of you don't know about that. And all. But then I moved from the Atari to IBM type computer, where we had 10 gigabytes of hard drive. We had an A drive and a B drive, and of course the C drive was the hard drive. And that's when I actually got into computing, using that computer. I found a friend who was skilled on working on computers. He gave me an added hard drive. So I had the C drive that was a 10 megabyte, and then a D drive that was a 20 megabyte. And so I had a total of 30 megabytes hard drive at that time. Unheard of.
Unheard of,
yes.
Yeah.
So
that's what computers are having now today. That was pretty large hard drive for that time.
Yeah, without a doubt it was, yes, yes. And of course, we had the 5 1/4 inch floppy disk.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
So I know that many youngsters, they don't even know about the 3 1/2
3 1/2,
inch. Yes,
yeah.
But the 5 1/4. So fortunately, we had a tour, and we had a tour in Atlanta, and to a museum, and so my scholars were able to see a floppy drive, a 5 1/4 inch floppy drive, which actually, if you fan with it, it actually flopped. You know, that's why it got its name, floppy drive. So, yeah.
I remember those days of touching my first computer, and I can remember the floppy, 3 1/2A floppy drive, and I got my first computer when I was young, and when we got it from the thrift store. That's all my mom could afford at that time. But I do remember those Radio Shack days. Radio Shack has gone out of business, but I do remember Radio Shack.
Ladies and gentlemen, our time has come to begin. I hereby call BDPA Con 25 to order. Welcome, everyone.
What does it mean to celebrate 50 years with BDPA?
I think it's an amazing experience.
I was able to create an AI software called Hack AI.
A phenomenal journey for many of our members, and especially our students that are looking forward to the next 50 years.
The keynote speaker, Dr. Yvette Pegues, really stood out to me because I have a hearing disability, and how she continued being an engineer but also being a champion for accessibility as well. I felt that was really powerful.
We at BDPA can partner with organizations that have support and build and grow individuals with disabilities.
I think it's fantastic. Founded 50 years ago, and all the things have changed around technology, and we're still doing what we do as an organization. It's incredible.
And we look forward to tremendous success stories in each of our communities that we serve.
I wanted to explain a little bit more about some of the events that BDPA has had, and what are some of the most memorable events that you remember in the future of this organization? Could you walk us through memory lane?
Well, I'll take you through. So I took a job with as a technology training manager in DC. So I was in charge of all of the computer labs there. So I brought the program to DC.
Okay.
Yes. So we had all of those rooms available, and we had more students to come to the program. We were very happy about that. So we had, let me share with you, is that the oldest competition program, training program, is the HSCC, stands for High School Computer Competition, and it's a web-based training, web-based programming, okay? So we train, as I mentioned earlier, we started with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then we had SQL, and then we would go into back-end programming, and we would kind of switch around from time to time. So it would be PHP sometimes, or you know, some of the other back-end programs and all. But we started getting more and more students. So then I had one of my students that he graduated from college, and we were talking one day, and he said that he was interested in gaming. So we started a gaming program.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, creating games. And so I should say that all of my instructors to this point are people who've gone through this program, and they have returned to help us. That's how we've been able to expand.
Wow, that's amazing.
So so now the gaming is a competition. Initially, we just had our students creating games, and they would showcase those games to us and to the parents at the end of the year, and we're just very, very happy about that. And so we had more students yet, then we had students that were not qualified to compete, because at the time you must be in the 8th grade in order to compete. And I had parents coming to me and said, oh, I got a 7th grader, I got a 6th grader, this, that, and other. And I didn't want to turn them away, because if they were interested in technology, we were interested in them. That is number one. But number two is that they could get the training, and then when they're in the 8th grade, now they are ready to compete.
Exactly.
So that was a big deal for us. So we just started gathering so many students. So we started a multimedia program, so that they would create animation and videos, and just take pictures, still pictures, and they would just do all kind of things. I bought one of a program that is called Be Funky, where they could edit the videos, do certain things, you know, taking the backgrounds out of pictures, and putting pictures together, and all of the things that we see now.
It's amazing that you guys were doing that back then.
Yes.
Because animation and even all of those programming languages are still so valid today.
Yes.
And to know that people were being, students were being trained to program at 6th and 7th grade.
Yes.
PHP,
That's
SQL. Right. Why do you think it was so important at that time to push the narrative and the initiative to get young people to develop their skills in the computing arena?
Well, you know, this organization is just a wonderful organization in terms of what it's designed to do. Now, Dr. Bemley started this program, this high school computer competition program, and so he's the father of that. So he had the vision,
yes,
okay, to see that. He also started the IT showcase for the college students, for our collegiate students. And, but what we found that, you know, this is the stuff that we teach in college, you know, these programs and all of that's not taught in high schools. So, but our kids can learn that. So now, it's like a given, as far as I'm concerned, is that they can learn anything. Yes.
I remember in college taking those programming classes, PHP, C++, HTML, and you know, I'm a grown woman at that time, and it's just amazing to see how we can really push young people to do that early. It's so important. I wanted to get your perspective on the future of technology. I know we talked a lot about the history of this organization, and we talked about the different initiatives that you were doing with the students back then. When we think about artificial intelligence and we think about the things that are happening in this era of AI, how does that fit in? And how does programming and the things that you've done with the students in the past, how can we mash that up together to ensure that students feel empowered to still want to develop, to code?
Well, I think that it's a must, okay? It's a must for our students to get this. So I plan to probably next year start another course in machine learning, perhaps machine.
All right.
Yes.
I love me
yes.
some machine learning.
Yes. Yeah. And AI. So you know, you probably know this already, but
yes.
AI started back in 1951. So AI has been with us all along, but it is moving at such a rapid pace right now.
Yes.
That we have to know that. We have to be on top of it. So we want our students to know as much about this going forward as they possibly can. This is very important now because with everything that we have, it takes away something, but it also brings something.
Agreed.
And this is one of the things that I'm not even aware what new things that AI is bringing aboard. But when I talk with people, this is what I say to them, is that when we had our first automobile, it was called the horseless carriage. Okay? That's what it was called, the horseless carriage, because if you remember, at that time, we had nice, pretty horses. They were groomed well. We had these carriages, and families would be going to church and other places and all this. Now we have a horseless carriage. So there were certain jobs that was lost. We didn't have to have people to groom and feed the horses and this and that and other and all of that. But there were other jobs. So I'll just say to you that before the automobile, we had no mechanics. We didn't have a need for them.
Right.
We didn't have gas stations.
Because there was no need for gas.
There was no need for gas stations.
Right.
There were many new jobs that was brought on as a result of that, okay? Even down to highways. We only had dirt roads during that time. So there are a number of things that happened, and I'm looking now to find out all of the new areas that will be available for our youth as they are going forward in what is now pretty much a complete AI world.
It is.
Yes.
It is. It's one of the most exciting eras within my career. If I had to be honest, I've been in tech for 20 years. And I really think that people should lean into it. We should not be fearful.
Yes.
We should not think that it's going to completely wipe out our jobs and replace us, but we should lean into understanding data, yes. Cloud computing. Yes. We should be very, very intentional about making sure that young people don't just be a consumer of the tools, but yes. they understand what's happening up under the hood, right? Yes. And that goes back to the foundation of the things that you did with teaching students how to still code.
Yes.
And I think we really, really, really have to encourage young people to understand that this is the most exciting time, but it also can be a tool, but it also can be a threat. And we need to know how to, know the difference between the two when we're using AI. What's your perspective on that?
Well, you're absolutely right about that. Everybody is so worried about AI taking over. AI can't take over, okay? AI is programmed just like everything else.
Exactly.
And there are guidelines that is being set.
Yes.
And these are the things that we must understand when we are thinking about AI. But we have to get on board with AI because there are things that even I do not know yet,
yep.
and I will be finding out these things as I move forward, because I want our students to know. I don't want our students to leave us and go to college in a career that's a dead career.
I agree. I
Yes.
agree.
We
I
don't
agree.
want that.
I love
Yes.
that so much. I wanted to know if you had any closing remarks for someone who is thinking about starting a technology career, but they are scared of the math, they're scared of the science, they're scared of all of the things that a lot of people feel fearful of when they're making a decision to go into a STEM career. What would be your words of advice for someone who may not be in the 6th or 7th grade, but they may be 18 or maybe graduating, and they're hearing all this stuff about, you know, starting a tech career? What advice would you give them?
Well, I think the best advice that I have is not being afraid to make a mistake. Many of us, that's our biggest fear is, oh, I don't want to make a mistake. And we do not learn unless we make a mistake.
I agree.
We must make mistakes. And so if you can get rid of that fear, I think that we can move ahead and do whatever we want to do in this life.
I love that so much because I think sometimes we get focused on the outcome and we're scared of making decisions or mistakes, and we're focused so much on the outcome. I am learning, even as myself as a technology professional, going through this next era with AI, is that it's okay if I don't know everything.
That's right.
It's okay if I am still learning machine learning and I've been in this thing for 2 decades. So I'm focusing on the process. What am I learning through the process of this new era of technology, and what can I give back to my community to know that it is perfectly okay if you don't know everything?
Without a doubt. And we have to help others. That is another biggie from me that I've learned over the years.
Yes.
Okay, is that when we help others, we help ourselves.
Bingo. I couldn't have said it any better. Appreciate sitting with you and learning from you. I mean, I didn't know that you were doing all these amazing things, and I hope that we can continue together to serve the community. And any last thoughts you have or closing remarks you have for this interview?
Well, I just simply hope that parents are able to listen to this and get their youngsters involved in some program. It doesn't have to be our program, but they need to be involved in some program outside of school. The reason is that when you are doing things on Saturdays the way that we're doing them, is that you are now dealing with others just like you that's focused on learning. So we do not get the misfits and all of that on Saturdays, because those people don't want to get up on a Saturday morning to come into a program like ours. So that is my
The more you learn, the more you earn, as I would say. So if Saturday in summertime is going to be the time that we can get young people out to really learn how to code and really understand how to build their own gaming systems, it will change their life forever. So I thank you and I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Now, when any department goes out into the community, we're able to hear the positive responses. And that is a great feeling to know that what we're doing is affecting and impacting the community. In the past, we've heard negative responses about the city being unclean, there's a lot of trash on the ground, or the police, we never see them.
It was important for our residents to feel as though that government was going to be responsive.
People were relying on a 9 to 5 being able to contact about any issues that they had.
We put together a very innovative app that gave our residents access.
IBM assisted the City of Sea Pleasant to incorporate Watson into the My Sea Pleasant app. Any resident who has a question that they want to ask about the city on a 24-hour basis can go into the app and click on Watson to ask it a question.
We had a tree fall, and instead of having to call City Hall, I just went and used the chat and said that there's a tree falling in the middle of the street, and they sent Public Works out to get it for me.
I've used it to report potholes that are in the street. I've used it to see what's going on in the city.
No matter where our Public Works director is, no matter where our employees are, they're able to log in because it is on IBM Cloud and get the service request in real time and respond, in a quick and efficient manner.
It allows them to get to us sooner. On a weekend doesn't matter because it comes through, I'm going to get it. So I love it. I don't see how we ever did without it.
When I think about BDPA, I think about legacy. Legacy is the lasting impact that exists when you're no longer here. Legacy is not about individual accomplishments. It's not about individual success. So when I think about BDPA, I think about it providing an opportunity for Black professionals in IT to create impact on students, on entry-level professionals, and on executives, from the classroom to the boardroom.
Being here at BDPA Con 50 in Atlanta, celebrating half a century of innovation, is humbling and it's energizing. The Tech Dispute was born from a simple but powerful ideal. Technology moves faster, but conflicts tend to slow it down. Whether it's AI contracts, IP conflicts, software disagreements, we built a platform to resolve tech issues smarter, faster, and fairer. Winning first place is not just a personal milestone, it's a validation that our mission matters. Thank you to the judges, my fellow innovators in the competition and BDPA community for believing in what we're building.
50 years is quite some time, and the organization has flourished, not just lasted, not just survived, but it has thrived, and it makes me very proud and thankful.
It's important to understand, why we do what we do. Right? Your value has to be driven through your mission statement, and then through that mission statement, you have to execute. There's too many organizations that talk a good talk. So here at Prolifics, we stay very quiet and we do the things in the back end. So this year, what I wanted to do is make sure we put the action, our talent and our money where our mouths are, right? So we said, instead of giving the winner cash, what we're gonna do is give him the equivalent that I charge all of the big companies that I work with and give them some of my best guys to put on their project. And we're gonna give them $8,000 of value in those hours because we want to see the project go.
As I walked around today, seeing workshops on AI and robotics competitions, seeing our young people talking about things on the cutting edge of the industry and knowing that they are, in fact, the future. So for me, it's not just a question of looking back that we've lasted it for 50 years, but look at where we may be going.
I joined BDPA in 1976. So from that time forward, BDPA has grown significantly. During my tenure and the presidents behind me, the organization grew to approximately 50 chapters around the country. In other words, BDPA was in every major city in the United States. We've grown as the technology has changed, so I've seen BDPA have a major role in the advancement of that technology. In the future, I would like to see BDPA provide think tank contributions with ideas and strategies for our lawmakers to follow, as well as continue to open doors for the youth who want to participate in the field of information technology.
As a young Black woman in tech, you have to be strong, you have to be a voice to those, and that's why I love working with students. We need someone to be there, to be an example to them, and that's what I love about BDPA. As we continue to grow with the different programs, we move to a younger audience, and I really hope to be here another 50 years involved in the organization, and I love what it is all about.
I enjoyed my opportunities that I have with BDPA, and I look forward to creating even more legacy as time goes forward, because I want it to last beyond me. Congratulations BDPA on your 50th anniversary, and congratulations on an awesome conference.